There's a high-stakes war being fought for your attention. And you know what? The old rules of Hollywood, they're being completely rewritten. We're gonna break down the new playbook. Just look at these numbers. On one side, you've got a near total critical failure. I mean, it got eviscerated. On the other side, a massive $75 million payday. How is that even possible? Well, this isn't a mistake. This is a strategy. So how does a movie get absolutely roasted by critics but still make a fortune? It all starts with our first strategy, what we're calling the brand play. And in this playbook, quality, well, it's kind of beside the point. Now, the project at the center of this whole storm, it's a documentary called Melania from director Brett Ratner, and it follows the former First Lady. And get this, Amazon didn't just buy it, they paid a staggering $75 million for it. The critical reception? It was absolutely brutal. Variety's chief film critic called it a shameless infomercial that, quote, never comes to life. And believe me, they were not alone. The consensus was overwhelming. Other reviews just piled on, calling the documentary emotionally sterile and a monumental bore. By all the traditional metrics we use, this project should have been completely dead on arrival. But here's where the strategy really reveals itself. Critics on Rotten Tomatoes, a dismal 11%. The actual audience score? A stunning 98%. You see, that huge gap, that chasm between the two, that isn't a failure. That is the entire point. So the key here is that this was never meant for the critics, not for a second. It was a direct-to-consumer play specifically designed to activate a very particular, very loyal audience and completely bypass the traditional media gatekeepers. Quality, in the classical sense, was totally irrelevant. And this idea, this concept of bypassing traditional metrics, it leads us directly to our second case, the star power play. This one centers on the dilemma facing one of the biggest movie stars on the entire planet. Chris Hemsworth, the guy is Thor. He's a global box office titan. But outside of that Marvel Cinematic Universe, his career is a really strange story of extreme highs and, honestly, baffling lows. It's kind of a hidden curse of modern stardom. Just look at this timeline. He kicks things off as Thor. Then you get critically adored hits like Cabin in the Woods. But right after, there's Blackhat, which was a massive financial bomb. So he reinvents himself in comedy with Ghostbusters. But then a huge franchise play like Men in Black International completely misfires with critics. You see the pattern? It's this wild inconsistency that eventually led him to a new home, streaming. And here's the paradox, the really weird part. His most artistically ambitious work, the roles where these legendary directors pushed him to his absolute limits, were often his biggest box office bombs. As MovieWeb pointed out, he was reaching new depths as an actor in Blackhat. But the audience, they just didn't show up. And this brings up the central dilemma for the modern movie star. Do you risk it all for art that might fail spectacularly, or do you just become a reliable, bankable franchise? For Hemsworth, and really for all of Hollywood, the answer to that is evolving right now. Which brings us to our third playbook, the universe play. This is exactly how streaming giants are solving that movie star's dilemma and building massive empires in the process. It all centers on his huge Netflix hit, Extraction. The third film is officially a go, with production slated to start in June 2026. The action dream team is back. Hemsworth, the director Sam Hargrave, and of course, the Russo brothers. But here's the real play. Netflix is not just making another sequel. No, they are using Hemsworth as the anchor to build an entire cinematic universe from the ground up. Look at this blueprint. It's basically a three-pronged attack. First, you've got the core sequel. Then you spin off a TV series, and then you launch an international film. It's a machine designed to transform one single hit into a self-sustaining, endless pipeline of content. So while streaming is busy building these huge universes to keep you subscribed, there's another model that has perfected the art of constant engagement for decades. We're pivoting now from the global algorithm to a relentless 52-week-a-year grind. This is the loyalty play. This quote from WWE star Bayley, it just perfectly captures the whole ethos. It's not about one big premiere. It's about what you do every single week, especially when you're not in the main event spotlight. It's all about the constant grind. See, in this model, the show never, ever stops. There are no off-seasons. The relentless touring, the constantly evolving storylines, the direct interaction with the fans, that grind is the product. It's a formula that's been perfected to create and maintain this fiercely loyal fan base that tunes in week after week, year after year, basically for life. Okay, so let's connect the dots here. We've got the brand play, the universe play, and the loyalty play. Why does any of this actually matter? Because it reveals who the new gatekeepers of entertainment really are. This table breaks it all down. The brand play serves a niche audience, and its goal is to bypass critics. The universe play serves the streaming algorithm, which just demands endless new content. And the loyalty play, it serves the hardcore fan, aiming for constant engagement. Each one targets a completely different center of power. And this right here, this is the ultimate takeaway. The old tastemakers, the critics, the studio heads, who for decades got to decide what was good, their throne is crumbling. Their power is fundamentally broken. Because the real battle was never, ever about getting a good review. It's about capturing and holding on to your attention. And to do that, the most powerful players in media have completely torn up the old rulebook and written a new one. Which leaves us with the ultimate question. In this new war for your screen time, who do you think actually wins? Is it the critics, still trying to define what quality is? Is it the crowd that just votes with its views? Or is it the algorithm that's specifically designed to predict what you'll watch next? Let us know what you think in the comments.